saw somebody else mowing your yard the other day too, though.
Yeah, mine broke, so
Oh,
I
it did?
was kind of waiting for a part, and then the part didn't come, so I just went and bought one.
No,
Did you mow in the dark?
It's got LED lights.
Does it work pretty good?
Yeah, it's not bad. You gotta kind of,
Jiggle on mine real bad.
once you get lined up on the grass, you know, you can see your cut line and you're okay.
And you're dodging all the deer though too.
Yeah, they're just out there. There was 6 or 8 of them out there just now. They run down to the road and then they ran back.
They're gonna freak out though whenever that construction starts.
Yeah.
I
heard
stopped by,
something
what,
the other day.
middle of the day, we were standing on your back porch, one come. Yeah.
Yeah,
Shouldn't
did they
have
give
crossed
the
the
guy the variance?
I don't know, they had their council meeting last Wednesday.
I called and asked her to be put on the list to get nailed. But they got it.
When do we want to do the tax and we'll spend our
Say first.
All right. Do we start the meeting and then, suspend the regular order?
No, I got it set up for 2 separate board meetings, basically, so you can call the action to order, close it out like normal.
Sounds fine to me. All right, well then that's what we'll start with. Everyone had a chance to look at the tax hearing, agenda?
Yeah.
Any, additions or deletions? Okay. Then I make a motion to, approve the agenda as presented.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Performa review.
Yeah, close in your board packet is the updated completed pro forma. I think of the most important thing on there is, I think obviously everybody is concerned about a political subdivision when they see assessed valuations going up, that we're going to get some sort of a windfall tax increase. That's obviously not the case. You can see last year's tax rate, or this year's, for lack of better terms, is 724, I'm sorry, 6147, and we're rolling back to 5724. And then from there, our sales tax rollback is another almost 9 cents, but 0.0883, which is going to set our tax rate for next year at 0.4841. So we're losing almost 5 cents compared to what we had this year. It's still a positive income on the budget side, but only to the tune of about $30,000. So it's not anything huge at all. This has all been sent from the state and ready to go.
Any questions about the performance?
If your boss and I have signed it, we'll submit it to the
Kind of make a motion, huh? I'll make a
Yeah,
motion.
yeah,
to approve the-
approve it and submit it.
I'll second it.
All right, all in favor, aye. Reading of the tax rates.
that can go off of this, yeah, that one.
Right there. So, real estate assessed evaluation. One.
I'll do it here.
Go ahead, I can't see it.
Okay, the 2021 real estate assessed valuation, 1,024,13,362. And in 2022, it's gonna go to 138 million, right, Brian? Correct. 704,875. And personal property, 29,680,181 to 34 million, right? 504
million.
813. I'm not used to those
No.
big numbers.
Yeah.
I'm looking for the decimal.
I know.
That subtotal, on those, 153,693,543 to 173,209,688. Less the TIF abated value, 827,100. And then 2022 would be 822,100. For a total of 1,055,286,6443. In 2022 will go to 1,072,387,588. Okay, let me keep reading. In 2022, 152,128. The prior rate was 0.6147. In 2022 will be 0.5724. Tax rate after reduction in 2021 is 0.5247. 2022 0.4841. And then general fund revenue budget tax rate after reduction 834,528 at a tax rate of 0.4841.
Okay, is there any questions about that? Then, make a motion to approve the tax rate.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. Now let's look at resolution 21.
County? Yeah. Do they figure all that for you, or are you having to?
No, we get the assessed valuations from
From them.
county, but we gotta figure, they don't tell us anything about how much money, so we gotta figure all that out.
Who oversees the sales tax reduction? The county?
No, that's us.
Yeah, okay.
So that is strictly us, and I forgot, you probably want to hear when we got the sales tax.
I'm the one that we kind of pushed it through, but
Right.
then I kind of was off the
So-
board after we kind of started getting.
Long story short, right after we got the sales tax and it came time to do the reduction, I called multiple other agencies that also had sales tax. They have multiple different ways of figuring, so that wasn't good enough for me. So I went straight to the state auditor's office, who pointed me in the right direction as to how to use the sales tax. So you get your budget, the formula will be on there. It's a complicated formula, but I've got it all in a spreadsheet, so all I gotta do is.
Yeah, because I was looking at that earlier.
So it has to do with, the way you figure is the first 6 months of last year gives you a estimated, and then you'll get your total at the end of the year, and then you reduce by that much. So we had a really bad, not bad, but the second half of the year last year, sales tax wise, went gangbusters for some reason. I don't know if that's because, COVID lockdown and everybody stayed local and spent their money local. So that's why we've got a larger reduction in the sales tax district at a larger amount. So, no, we gotta figure all that out.
All right, then resolution 21-13. 2022 tax levy for the general revenue of the Hillsborough Fire Protection District, Jefferson County. We need the whole thing, don't I?
Well, you want me to do it for you?
No, I'll read it. It's all right. Whereas the Hillsborough Fire Protection District has been duly incorporated for discussion by the Circuit Court of Jefferson County, Missouri, and is a certified copy of same, together with a plat showing the boundaries of said district, is now on file with the clerks of the Jefferson County, Missouri, and whereas Gary Boyer, Robert E. Brown, Matthew E. Woods are duly elected and qualified and acting directors of the said Hillsborough Fire Protection District, and is now providing the necessary equipment and personnel for the prevention and protection against fires within the said district. And whereas in section 321-250 of the revised statute of Missouri, provided that the board of directors shall certify to the county of Jefferson, Missouri, Hillsborough, Missouri, on or before the first day of October of each year, a rate of levy fixed by the board as provided by law to provide for the revenue of the operation and expenses of the fire protection district. And whereas in pursuant of section 321.240 of the revised statute of the voters of the Hillsborough Fire Protection District, at a regular election held in said district, has approved the propositions authorizing the board of directors of the Hillsborough Fire Protection District to level the annual rate of 0.4841 cents on the $100 assessed evaluation. And whereas the board of directors in the Hillsborough Fire Protection District, Jefferson County, Missouri, is caused to be posted at 3 or more locations within the district 7 days prior to the notice of a public hearing for the setting of the levy rate of the district for Wednesday, September 15th, 2021 at the hour of 7 p.m. Central Daylight Time in the district headquarters boardroom at 125th Street in the city of Hillsborough, state of Missouri, 63050. And whereas the board of directors of the Hillsborough Fire Protection District of Jefferson County, Missouri has determined that the levy of 44841, it is 0.4841 cents on the $100 assessed valuation on all tangible property located within the boundaries of the Hillsborough Fire Protection District of Jefferson County, Missouri, is necessary to supply funds for paying the expense of operations and the cost required supplying, maintaining the property, work, and other equipment of the district. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Directors of the Hillsborough Fire Protection District of Jefferson County, Missouri, that in order to make provision for payments of the necessary expense and operations of the Hillsborough Fire Protection District of Jefferson County, Missouri, the Secretary of the Board of Directors shall on and before October 1st, 2021, certify to the County of Jefferson County, Missouri, a levy rate in the amount of 4841, that is 0.4841 cents on each $100 assessed valuation of all taxable, tangible property within the boundaries of the Hillsborough Fire Protection District, both real and personal, including properties of public utility, companies upon franchise of property of railway, including telegraph, telephone companies, made taxable by law, and included in all statements made by the merchants and manufacturers, and provided by law situated within the boundaries of the Hillsborough Fire Protection District. Upon receipt of such certification, it shall be the duty of the County of Jefferson, Hillsborough, Missouri, at the time and in the manner required by law for the levy of the state, county, and school taxes to levy, collect, and remit to the Board of Directors of the Hillsborough Fire Protection District a tax at the rate above fixed. Be it resolved further that a copy of this resolution certifying that by the Secretary of the Board of Directors to be delivered to the County of Jefferson, Hillsborough, Missouri, 63050. Director Matt E. Woods. You make a
I'll
motion?
make the motion to read out.
Mhm.
I'll second
Yes.
that.
All right. So Director Matthew Woods has moved to adopt the above resolution, which was seconded by Robert D. Brown, and the question being put to a roll call vote. Results are the following. Chairman Gary, aye. Director Matt Woods. Director Robert Brown. Passed the board on the 15th day of September 2021. Yeah. Well, it's signed twice.
I believe unfortunately the sound was on, but not the video. But hey, this computer's acting. Second time I've lost the camera tonight, so sorry for anybody out there listening.
At this time, I can make a motion to adjourn the tax levy hearing. All in favor? Aye. Turning to regular order of business. There's a quorum present. Approve there's any additions or deletions to the agenda.
Sorry. Yes, I do have one addition I'd like to add under new business. Item 10.1 lawnmower.
With that added, do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
Go ahead, Matt. I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
All in favor? Open it up for public comment.
Anything to say, Chris?
Then there being no public comment, we'll move on to the approval of the minutes First, the regular board of directors minutes meeting of August 11th, 2021.
Second.
All in favor? Approval of the minutes of the August 11th, 2021 executive closed board of directors meeting.
Make that motion.
All in favor? Aye. Financial reports.
As of August 31st, 2021, in the assets and the checking account, in the general fund account, are $325,918. In the capital reserve account, are $609,208.76. Home reimbursement account at Star $10,074.64. Total assets of $945,428. Current liabilities, $6,614.34 due to payroll liabilities. Income, $117,128.49. Expenses, $222,133.
I remember we had the lease payment on the truck last month, so that's why it was so high.
All right, do we have a motion to approve that as read?
I'll make that.
Second? All in favor?
Yeah.
Do you have a resolution to pay the bills?
I do. Is it not in your packet? I probably use it. Wait a minute.
Oh. No, that's.
I accident.
All right, ordinance 21-14. That the district hereby appropriate out of the funds of the Hillsborough Fire Protection District of Jefferson County, Missouri, the sum of $222,133.34 for the purpose of paying claims and deems of the person hereinafter specified deemed and described in the ordinance. Do I have a motion to pass the ordinance and pay the bills?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Yes, sir. All right, fire marshal's report, please.
Yes, sir. There were no building permits issued in the month of August. The fees charged were $0. But fees collected were $267 that were that was from some permits issued in July.
Any questions, concerns about that? All right, fire chief's report.
It was another busy month, again, obviously. Last month we were in another 111 calls for service, so the hits just keep on coming, call wise, but no real major calls from last month that I can think of. There's nothing serious on our end, so again, these guys did good job on everything. So Jefferson County 911, and then kind of talked about this, to make the determination to switch CAD systems again back to the old CAD system. So we are in the process of preparing for the switch over the next month or so. So we're going to update the run cards, and we're working on figuring out how they're going to build out the mobile data terminals on the computers in the truck. Have the rescue trailers ready to go. There's some training that's going to begin this month with some neighboring districts, and we are working together on some responses for all of that. COVID has again become a major issue, or it was over the past 5 or 6 weeks around here. We luckily have hopefully gotten through the worst. We have absolutely nobody out right now, thankfully. So hopefully we're on the up and up. But over the past 6 weeks, it passed through multiple different employees here. We implemented all the necessary COVID guidelines, and it seemed to work really well to keep the rest of the firehouse from getting sick. So things are going well. Anything to add to that?
Sure. Other than it's a busy month again, we're 196 calls ahead.
Yeah, it never runs. The management team's determined, we talked about this, that a 35-cent tax increase is going to be the lowest we're going to be able to go. We'll talk about that under new business.
comprehensive plan is attached to your board packets. Still working through the implementation of the Verico system. We'll have that up and running by hopefully the end of the year at the latest. Grant opportunities are potentially coming up for a new firehouse. I believe the president, within the framework of one of the rescue plans or one of the infrastructure plans, I don't know, whichever one, is going to have some sort of a fire station grant program. We actually met Friday, Jason and myself, with Brockmiller Construction. I've known Colin from Brockmiller, worked with him on a lot of projects before, and we had reached out and talked to some other people about a metal building, trying to get price down from what they had initially quoted us. Well, Colin said, "Oh yeah, I'll stop by the firehouse, talk to you guys." So stopped by. We met for probably about an hour here at the firehouse, and went over and took a look at the lot across the street. He's working up some drawings, some pricing, what we're looking at for free. So I said, sure, absolutely, we'll take for free. So this will help guide us closer to having a shovel-ready project ready to rock and roll. He works with a metal building company called Ecora, is that correct? We're going to at least consider what a metal building would look like and how that would do. Nothing obviously set in stone, but it's kind of where we're at with that. We're going to be ready to rock and roll though, should that grant become available. I think we'll have a pretty good shot at it. It's not going to be many fire stations and districts and departments that have shovel-ready projects ready to rock and roll. So we've got the land, we've got the area. I don't think we're ever going to get the funding anywhere else other than the grant at this point in time. So something to look at and something to rock and roll, and we're pursuing it for sure.
I think they're saying around August or so, they're probably gonna open, but we want to start now.
Yeah, we want to get that done for sure. So, as part of the long range plan, 6523 is due to be replaced. And we've got the Volkswagen grant that we talked about last month as well too. So we have started a committee to begin designing a new tanker for Station 2. That'll replace the 2001 General, the one that caught fire and has cost us umpteen amounts of money this year. So it has proven beneficial to have that out there as well too. I did speak to ISO, Jim Alsap, who's our kind of our area ISO rep, said having an extra tanker out there will help you guys maintain ISO. So we're ready to rock and roll with that, and we'll.
That's a little too many.
That's too. So we're probably looking anywhere in the neighborhood, depending on surcharges. 330 to 370, somewhere around there.
Are you gonna buy another strictly tanker like that here?
It's not gonna be, we're gonna talk about shit.
Just right now, we're looking at just two main commercial cab again. We're looking at a 2,000 gallon truck, lots of smaller roads over there, some areas with lighter weight bridges, some of our mutual aid spots. So we wanted to go a little smaller, a little cheaper. But it will, otherwise it'll look fairly similar, but a single axle system. So committee's running. So our next meeting is the 20th of this month.
Still double what that other, that's only.
Go ahead.
That's 10,000 gallon truck.
Upon approval of adapting, changing, adopting the tax increase plan, whatever we guys want to do, we'll update the strategic management plan for next year from that. Have that ready by the October board meeting, and then we'll have the finalized budget presentation in November and December. If you remember, Bob, back in the day, we used to have a budget ready. But we were all under the impression, including myself, that the budget should be ready by October 1. That's not the case. You only got to set your tax rate. As long as you have it set and ready to go by the day before your new fiscal year, you're set by law. So we've kind of slowed down the process a little bit to get a little better handle on the numbers. instead of amending it 800 times between now and then. So that's kind of why we've done that. So, if you saw as well too, unfortunately, McElroy did get into a accident with one of their fire trucks last week. Nobody was injured luckily, but they have used the reserve truck and put it back in service again, I believe. So they got another truck. So we had the mid-year PMs on all the trucks last month, and we used to, Bob, only do it once a year, but now we've gotten so busy, so many engine miles and road miles, we got to do it twice a year now. There are just a myriad of things wrong with multiple trucks. They've all been fixed and taken care of. The most expensive was 6524, had some rear bushings that were out. I have no idea what that means or where they're at, but that's. But I told them go ahead and fix it. So they fixed that. And, I think it was close to $1,000 repair. So we've blown the maintenance budget out of the water for the year. I can tell you that, unfortunately, but it's what it is. So yeah. For the month of August, there were 135 hours of training. We worked those down for a couple weeks. We had some holidays in there, and that's why it was kind of low for the month. But guys are still hitting it hard, and they're overtraining right now. So we're gonna burn the house on Saturday. We canceled the last one due to COVID issues, so let's hope we can finally get this done. Rock and roll. So again, we are rapidly approaching Fire Prevention Week in October, and firefighter Nichols is working hard to get things scheduled out and get everything ready to rock and roll. Oh, one other thing I wanted to add that wasn't in here, due to the COVID issues, and I didn't get you guys in mind, we started Brady Pool, that we hired last month, a couple weeks early, so he could fill some shifts. So kind of an emergency situation. He was basically working anyway, all the part-time shifts to cover it, so we're just started this full-time, basically. So
Any communications? You have none.
I don't.
Old business, there's none. Moving to new business, tax increase plan.
I have presented to you guys a very in-depth look at where we're at and what we need to maintain 6 full-time firefighters. Lots of help from Jason on this as well too. I appreciate everything that he has done to look into where we're at with all of this and help me along the way. Definitely needed it. So hopefully you guys all got through everything. I know there's a lot of information in there, but we did a lot of addition to the plan this year to really try to be able to present to our folks here at the firehouse and the general public as to why we need this, digging a little deeper into response times, some of the life-saving services that we offer to try to show the importance of having additional people on staff. I cannot imagine how this year would have gone having 192 calls on top of what we did last year and not having a second truck. It would be absolutely ridiculous to know. These guys would be, it's getting to the point where it's dangerous for just to have 2 guys on duty and not have another crew on duty. So we looked at, and I'll turn your attention to the past some of the information of the cost of maintaining 6 full-time firefighters. That is at today's numbers. There's no estimation for the future, basically. And this is assuming that they're all topped out, which they're all not at this point in time, but they will be if we tax increase. So we're looking at 6 full-time firefighters. And this is what a lot of people don't get either. For every upfront dollar that an employee sees on their paycheck, there's 50 cents out the back door that goes for health insurance, for short-term, long-term, their uniform allowance, their retirement. So there's
The match on taxes.
the match on taxes, Social Security, and all that stuff. That's the district's problem to pay for. So to keep 6 full-time firefighters at $40,000, $125 a year, which that's too low anyhow, but it is what it is. That's $425,574 per year. That's a direct $286,226 in direct wages to be replaced. $139,348 out the back door for that. So it's, I don't know where else to cut any money to lower that. You can't. I mean, this is just what it is. So then we started talking initially at looking at a 25-cent tax increase. You can see our current tax information, what our budget's going to look like for next year in there. You guys, none of this includes the FEMA Safer Grant numbers either, because that's really not important for all this. It's what happens after that grant is done and over with. So a 25-cent tax rate would bring our tax rate up to 8,224. You would have your sales tax rollback of 8 cents and 8.0842, excuse me. So that would give a property tax rate of 0.7401 upon passing the levy. That's for a 25-cent increase. New tax increase revenue on the personal and real estate side of things would be $1,265,325, plus the sales tax and the other income, for a total of $1,545,324. That's an increase of $430,969. That doesn't work when we're already maxed out with 6 full-time employees at $425,000. Next page is a 35-cent tax increase. And I'll kind of summarize that. That takes our tax rate, would bring our tax rate, our new rate, to 0.8341. Excuse me. And that would bring in roughly $1,437,884 in personal property real estate, $280,000 sales tax, $16,000 other. Total income would be $1,733,884. That's a total net revenue increase from where we're at now at $603,356. That still gives us a little bit of a cushion, and room to grow as costs increase. And you can tell this year by the Hancock Amendment, which absolutely nailed us by having to roll back 4 cents. It only allowed us to grow by an extra $30,000. So if we come and give these guys a $1,000 pay raise, that's all gone. What do we cut to pay for an increase in health insurance or anything else that maintenance? So that 25 cents, there's no room for it. There's not enough money there. There's not enough money there.
What about if we phased it in and we started that, when our guys were a little cheaper, if we started at a quarter, what's the rules on that? Can you do 25, 30, 35, something like that? Can you do? I remember we did that before, back then when we were talking, so remember a nickel, a nickel, a nickel.
So start with,
I'm just asking, just posing that as a question, would that make it more palatable for people that we want to ask them? Or all?
Who's got research to see what you do at that amount too?
Right.
25 the first year, 30 the second, 35 the third.
I'm not even saying necessarily those amounts.
So
I'm just giving that was an
sorry.
easy example, Jason, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
so 25, 5 and 5.
25, 30, and 35.
Yeah, so 25, 5, and 5.
Right, yeah, right, yeah.
So I think that's what Bob's talking about.
I don't know, is it?
Yeah, I mean, that would,
Carry your guys are cheaper.
we still have that grant that will pay for them.
Overlapping this.
Overlapping that. So yes, that would, I'm not opposed to that at all. I think if that would help, help to sell it, I think
Would that confuse people?
I don't know, that's what I'm asking. That's a thought too.
it does make it more difficult on the marketing side of it to try to explain it to people, but would that be worth it if you get the sale at the end of the day?
Right. I remember doing that before.
Yeah, we did do that in the last tax increase we got 20 years ago. We did do that.
Has it literally been that long since we've had that, other than the sales tax?
but it is sales tax, it's been 20 years since that was done. Yes,
That's a huge.
selling point.
selling point.
Yeah,
This
absolutely.
district has been very, very fiscally responsible.
Right.
There's other districts that in that 20 years have had 2 or 3 tax increases. So, something about, the next page, obviously a 50-cent increase gives us a net increase revenue of 861,938, which would cover the new folks in the building of the firehouse. My recommendation at the end of the day is going to be to scrap the idea of the firehouse for now, going for that 50 cents, and do whatever we can to keep the manpower. New firehouse is great. We need it. I don't back away from the fact that
Got
we
the
need it.
properties, I want
It's
to.
not going nowhere. Save a little bit over time to hopefully get that, but you have a nice firehouse in the world, but if you don't have people to get the trucks out of the works,
Right.
you know, that's the most important. And I talked to multiple people in the community who said you don't need a new firehouse, and we have to respect what they say. They're our taxpayers, they're our bosses. At the end of the day, whether we agree with them or not, it's a moot point. If they're not gonna bite on a new firehouse, and it is what it is. But from a safety standpoint of view, for the lives of the citizens and the safety of our firefighters, ensuring that we have this manpower, I'll hang my hat on that one any day of the week.
I think it's gonna be easier to sell.
I agree too. I did, if you pass the 50-cent page, from our current tax rate all the way up to that 50-cent mark in 10-cent increments, 5-cent increments, excuse me, you can see how our budget would increase from what it is now to that number. So a 10-cent tax increase would give us 172,000. 15-cent would give us 258. 23, 44, 25, the 430, 30 cents, 517. Which I still think that's cutting it too close. I really do. There is no room for error.
That, you gotta get to the 35.
That 35 is that magic number. I hate to say it, but any less than that, we're not gonna be able to sustain it. We're gonna have to, I want it to be another 20 years before we have to brag to the taxpayers again. And if it's 25 cents or 30 cents, I don't think that that's a big campaign slogan, because we don't know what's gonna happen between now and then. Something may happen, but I don't want to be that district that has to go back in 4 or 5 years and say, hey, I need to go to tax increase. Now, I'm not discounting the possibility in the future of maybe a bond issue for a new firehouse if we can't get grant funding for it, but that's different. That's a capital project. That's not saying, hey, we need to increase your tax rate. That's temporary with way. So I'll oppose that in the future. I think getting society in general to level out, if it ever will, again, is a big factor in this as well too, but I don't know what we can do to solve that problem. And then, yeah, our recommendation.
There's a lot of work.
Yeah, there's a lot that went into this. And our recommendation, there's a lot of discussion back and forth as to where we're at. And, I was originally wanted to go for the 25-cent cut in half. Jason, we sat and ran the numbers, and Jason pointed out, it's not enough. He's right. It's not enough.
Bob, you're on the board, but you know what happens if we have another 25% increase?
Oh, yeah. Or any Mirage.
Who knows what?
Yeah. Yeah, that could go, you're right, that could happen. It still happen.
I don't think it's ever gonna be fixed.
No, you're 100%. Chris, am I missing anything? You've sat in on a lot of these meetings as well too.
I agree with that.
I know you guys haven't seen this plan yet.
No, we were all discussing the last time we all sat down and talked, we were discussing if we were, you weren't real sure, but I mean, you were borderline at the time on whether taking the firehouse out of the equation, so we're not necessarily marketing that right now. And doing a 35, which is enough to stabilize your manpower.
Right.
And keep the community safe. I think it's a great idea.
And we're not,
We will still be less, our tax rate will still be lower than almost every department in the county.
yeah. And we're not, this is not because we're cutting down to that 35 cents. We're not, we didn't go to the taxpayers last time and say, we need 50 cents. And then we're not coming back this time and say, well, just kidding, no, we need 35. We are cutting a firehouse out of the mix for all of this. So
A brick and mortar,
Correct.
right?
So we're cutting that brick and mortar out, that plan out, and we have to get to manpower. We've got to get this. We are one of the most busiest understaffed departments in Jefferson County. Yeah, there are other departments that are busier and have some of the, same issues that we do. Even Festus Fire, who had just 4 years ago, no paid fire department. They've got a paid fire department now, and I think they're running 1,600, 1,700 calls a year. They got 3 guys on it. Just within that short period of time. And then Dunklin is another single engine house that's pretty busy, but they got 3 or 4 guys.
Yeah, they got 3 or 4 guys, they're running 1,500, 1,600 calls.
Right.
I mean, this year, we're gonna run 1,200 or 1,300 calls.
Yeah.
2 guys on a truck.
And here's the difference between Festus and Dunklin. Look at the size of our district and then the size of the city of Festus. You could fit Dunklin Fire District and the city of Festus within our fire district and still have remote. So we're covering a much larger area. The response time is key to saving lives.
Have we had that magic call yet that proved the fact?
I think we've had lots of calls. We just had one the other day or a couple weeks ago. It was a child having difficulty breathing, and I know the family stopped by Station 2 afterwards and said, "Man, we can't believe how fast you guys got here." So I'm not sure. I think it depends.
Hey, look,
Yeah. Maybe to those folks it was that, magic
One of
call.
those 900 calls, so you guys are starting to take a little time to figure out.
Yeah.
well, I didn't know if there was one particular thing.
There's been, we have to look back. I'm not 100% sure on how to even.
I think too, Gary, kind of answer your question, almost every call that we get that's a back-to-back call. And that engine house is manned, it can run that back-to-back call, they're not waiting for a volunteer. That answers your question.
Yeah.
That right there has been more beneficial than anything, whether it be my family member or yours, Bob's, Dad's, or whoever's, I mean, just the back-to-back calls that we get are oddly insane, like how many.
So,
Yes.
so just to prove your point, that's all in the plan. 2020 last year, we had 166 overlapping calls. Meaning there's 166 simultaneous times throughout the year, there are multiple calls going on. So far this year, we've had 206 overlapping calls. 25% of our calls are
And
overlapping
I think
calls.
we're getting it up.
25%.
Rural and city,
I would say it's not personal.
rural tone again, might be.
So that's kind of where we've got all these buildings in town that we have to protect that don't pay a dime in Texas. By no fault of their own, I'm not faulting administration by them, but we're a growing district, we're a busy district, and we gotta get we gotta keep these guys.
Just
Do we wanna-
should be a huge marketing factor. I know we tried to push it on the last one, but I mean, that alone, like, be an eye opener to people that understand what we're talking about by overlapping.
Scary.
Yes, it's oddly insane that how many times the tones go off and then 5 minutes or 5 seconds later, tones go off again, you're thinking, oh, it's just they're just dispatching a truck in place of the other truck. And you look at it, no, it's a whole nother call. You know,
I'd
it's like,
almost
holy cow.
I'd almost be curious, I might pull it up tomorrow. How many times, it's not 2 calls, it's like 3 or 4.
There's multiple.
It's been several times this year.
Especially, and it's about to get bad again with, of course, every last drop of rain missed us. Yesterday, we're quickly approaching brush fire season again.
It's dry.
It's dry,
It's
man.
right now.
It's dry as bone out there. And that's really we're getting into our busy season now. I don't know what the heck happened this summer.
August is the first month.
Not this year.
And we're on the 15th, we got 30 days in September.
Yeah.
And we got 50 calls from 1:30, we're 196 calls ahead for the year.
We thought it was a couple months fluke that we were slow, boy, were we. No, it's April, we'll slow down. I don't hear this. September.
Do we want to look at a certain aspect of the plan? Do we want to say a 35 cent is what we'd like to hit for?
The only thought, I think it's easier to ask for the 35, just because you are taking the firehouse out of the equation, so you're going from 50 down to 35. I think that'd be, I'm not saying, it's easy sell. Yeah, but my big thing though, is, you don't have as many volunteers as you did 20 years ago, probably. Where any group or community group is hurting for people who want to volunteer.
Yeah.
And maybe you do have more, I don't know, but during the daytime, I think you'd still be hurt to run enough volunteers to.
They all got full-time jobs. I know. Chris is starting a new business, and I know his business is taking off during the day, which is, wonderful. Chris does a lot for the district. There's other of them, like, we had one hanging out today, but he works like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, so his schedule's too off. So we got a great group of dedicated volunteers, but it's only, what do you say?
Yeah.
Count on one hand. And then unfortunately, not unfortunately, a big congratulations to her. It's an unfortunate to us, but Hannah Stinson just got hired full-time over at Cedar Hill Fire. So, yeah, absolutely. She got well served. So that's gonna be one. I'm not saying we're gonna lose her, but we
Yeah,
will.
that's gonna hurt.
So,
She's not gonna be here 4 days a week.
yeah,
She's not gonna be here.
And a vital key player.
Absolutely.
For sure. Like Nick Wall was. And,
Yeah.
Several of the other volunteers throughout the years. It'll hurt.
So, and we really are a stepping stone for a lot of people who want a full-time job within the fire service. And we've learned to accept it. It's great. Oh, excuse me. And, what do you say? 1 to 2 years is usually the max tenure of many of these, these guys.
It's like right now, I mean, the application, just the kind of big people wanting on, there's several kids from the ATS program that are going to fire science in college. Captain Husky is their instructor there. And, they wanna come here, well, like Chief's saying, I mean, it's basically just their stepping stone. Get the volunteer service, figure out if you like the job. It helps us out in the meantime, don't get me wrong. But we do put a lot of time and effort into them, and it's kind of stand on the sideline and congratulate them and wish them the best,
And that's,
as you're waving goodbye.
Yeah.
and that's a lot of the unfortunate day and age that we live in. A lot of people say, we'll just get more volunteers. It doesn't work like that.
People can't even staff their restaurants right now.
Kids
know.
don't want, nobody wants to do physical labor. Oh, I gotta be there every Monday night, or try to be there every Monday night? No, I can't do that. It's like,
Younger people are different than what they used to be.
it is.
They don't
And
see
these-
the need.
And this is just my pure psychosis myself, but if I'm away and a call comes in, It sounds like a good call. Well, number one, I'm finding a way to get my way back down to this area, you know, if I'm up to St. Louis or doing whatever. I'm worried because I'm not there. Half these volunteers don't even know when a call comes in. So that, you know, it's the different mindset, the different, you know, generation. And I'll be 100% honest with you, I got 3 kids of my own. I don't know how Chris does it. Because between baseball, and Jason can tell you, these guys can tell you, I had to have one grandma pick up one of my kids today to take them to baseball practice. Another one of my grandmas to take them down, not my grandma, but their grandma, down to soccer practice. I don't have every day. In today's societal demands for their jobs and kids and lives, it is not, everybody wants to blame management, everybody wants to blame this. It is not that. It is society today. You know, how many people after our last tax increase bill came knocking on our door to volunteer? You know? I don't know. I get it. I couldn't do it.
All right. So we're gonna move on here.
I want to be able to get you guys on board and start preparing
We don't need a motion necessarily. Blessing.
Yeah,
a blessing from you guys to proceed forward, so I can sit the department down as a whole and say, here's the plan, here's what we're going to do. And here's how we, so please, I want you guys involved too. We need everybody. We gotta have all hands on deck, from the community down to the top leadership of the department, the next level, all the way down to the nearest guy who walks.
Well, it's always been the goal, which is, I know,
yeah, forever.
from Chief King.
Yeah,
Scott,
exactly.
That's always been the goal. And we go back and get, we deep down wanted that.
Absolutely.
And saw the need for that way back then.
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, thank you for pursuing it.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. That has been every management, you know, past chief's goal.
Well, we don't like it.
I mean, most don't like free.
I don't like it.
We want to keep our six.
Huh?
I agree.
Nobody
likes
Yeah,
it, that's for
yeah.
sure.
Nobody likes
an animal that we're forced to live with, so.
I mean, and here's the thing. Nobody likes taxes, and I get it. I agree. But that is what, at the end of the day, while I agree, private entrepreneurship is what generates income in this country and gives us the quality of life we have. The safety behind it and why you have that quality of life. Think if we didn't have law enforcement, fire, ambulance. I mean, these are your services, your schools that make us not a third world country.
Well, and we can't say no, just because we have 3 calls. Stuff you can't not go, so.
Yeah.
Our can't be like, you know, just can't.
I know.
Well, people want, as inflation and products and everything else increases, people want their paycheck to increase as well.
I know they do.
So why should we be any different when saying things have went up? And in order for us to maintain the quality that we need, then we need some help.
I had that discussion with a gentleman last year, my son, he's like, well, why do you need a rate increase? I said, well, the cost of everything keeps going up. I go, the company you work for, the cost keeps going up and you need a raise, you need more insurance, stuff like that. You guys raise your prices. We can't just raise our prices. We have to ask your permission.
Right.
So
Every 20 years or so.
Right. I would think
That's it, every 20 years.
Any further discussion about that?
So you guys are good with me?
Okay. I'm good.
Yes. And check please about how we did if we did.
Phase it in.
Phase it in.
I will do so.
10-11, we said Longhorn?
Yeah. The deck kept messing up and throwing bolts and all kinds of stuff on the Cub Cadet. out at Station 2. We've been just taking it back and forth to ensure we're mowing the grass across the street here. Keeping up with all that. Actually, for the longest time, the school was mowing our grass across the street, but they got pretty busy, so we kind of took it back over since it is our property. So we took it down to Lawn Care South. They called me late this afternoon and said, yeah, we'll fix your deck $1,100. So question being, the mower is 12 years old. Is it worth it to fix it, or do we buy a new one? That is the question that I am posing to you.
And this is after we've tried 4 times.
Yeah, we've worked on it ourselves too.
So what do you think you need to replace?
Well, I've got a couple quotes already. I made some last minute calls this afternoon down to Lawn Care South was one of them. I talked to Todd down there, the salesman. Get a 52-inch, 23 horse Kawasaki to 0 turn. This is government bid pricing. It's in stock. $3,395.62. It's a 52-inch 0 turn. And then I talked to Caldwell's as well too. They got a Raptor, which is a Hustler mower, and they're at $4,249 for theirs as well too. I don't know if it's a good idea to go back to a long tractor style with that's big open field, but big open lawn they're cutting house too, and big open lawn they're cutting over here. So
12 years ago, we paid $2,400 for that tractor.
right.
What kind of?
One from Lawn Care South is a Gravely.
I looked at them the other day when I was looking at some nice looking board.
So I wanted to defer that question to you guys to see what you
What
want
about getting into a commercial?
Yeah, I don't think we need a commercial. Once you're talking 10 grand.
Right.
Difference between the Caldwell and the Long? What's the difference in?
Color.
Oh, you mean price wise or the mower?
The mower itself.
It's just different brands. The color, yeah. One's Gravely and then Hustler is, Gravely is sold by Lawn Care South. Hustler by Caldwell's down there off Main Street.
I wonder what they would charge you for like a maintenance, like a share program, or also where they take care of all the hydraulics, since that's got so much hydraulics and belts, and they can just take care of.
I think once a year over the winter, Chris is right. We need to take it down there and have them.
January, February, all the rest of it.
We can change the oil and take care of that. That's not a problem. They can at least look at the belts, sharpen the blades, make sure we're ahead of stuff, so
Right.
we don't get stuck with an $1,100 bill.
So lawn care, how much?
Lawn Care is $3,395.68.
I'm fine with that.
Second.
Second,
Do you guys want me to take that out of the quote fund?
Equipment fund, yes.
That's what it's there for.
Definitely.
There.
Maintenance agreement.
Yeah.
Okay. Will do.
Since there is no closed session, is there anything else before anything else before the board? You ever been signed?
No.
Okay.
That's Sunday, you can turn.
Then I make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
All in favor?